We have 13 degrees today, 13 Celsius. It is really starting to feel as if spring is in the air. Even the daffodils in the garden seem extra happy today. Yes, it is a nice warm England, and you are welcome to join in on today's live chat. This is English Addict, coming to you live and direct from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. We are back together. I hope you are feeling well. I hope you are feeling super duper today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. You may have heard of me in the distant past. I started out on YouTube in 2006, and guess what? I'm still here doing it, even though a lot of people don't seem to realise that I'm still here. Many people think I'm dead, but I'm not. I'm still here, very much alive, very much well, and very much teaching English here on YouTube. So that is what I do. I like to come on to the internet to show my face. Some people say, Mr. Duncan, how dare you? How dare you show your face? I'm having my breakfast. You are putting me off my food. Sometimes that can happen. Hello everyone. Yes, we are back together. It is Wednesday. We are having a super Wednesday. It is very nice to be here. And of course, as I always ask, if you can give me a lovely like. If you like this already, maybe you've only been watching for the past 2 minutes and already you are madly in love with this. Please give me a like. That would be ever so nice. So that is the introduction over, and yes, we have made it all the way to Wednesday. It is nice to see you here. For those learning English, for those who want to practice their English listening, it is a very good way of doing it, listening to someone speaking English or any language for that matter, spontaneously. This is spontaneous. I don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know either. And I have to say, it does make it a little bit more exciting. Nice to see the live chat is always and already, as usual, busy. Hello to Vitas. You are first on today's live chat. Again. We will have to give some sort of award to Vitas. Maybe some sort of Oscar. Instead of an Oscar, it will be a finger clicking like this, because Vitas has a very fast finger. I think so. It is very nice to see you here, Vitas. Also, we have Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back as well. I hope you are feeling super duper. Marendo is here as well, watching in India. Hello to India. It is nice to see you here today. Also, we have Marwar. It's nice to see you back. It feels like a long time since I last saw you here on the live chat. So it is nice to have you back here as well. Who else is here? Palmyra is here as well. Nice to see you back. Also Beatrice is here. We also have Quatiba. Hello to you as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Your time is very precious. My time is also very precious. I give my time to you for free. So I hope you feel free to join today's live chat. we have a very interesting subject coming up today. Now, as you know, I love English words and the way in which they can be used. Sometimes words that start out as a certain type of word can become used in a different way, or even have a completely different context. Today we are looking at brand names or trademarks. Sometimes when you want to sell something that you created yourself, quite often you will create your own brand. For example, I like to think that this here is my little brand. So my brand is English Addict, and of course it has a lovely smiley face as well. So you might say that this is a type of brand. It is something that is easily recognizable, but also something created individually. In this case, by me. So brands appear everywhere. When you go shopping, you might look on the supermarket shelf. You might have your favourite brand, something you always buy, maybe a certain type of breakfast cereal, maybe a certain type of washing powder, a certain thing that you always buy, your favourite brand. So quite often, branding is a very good way of getting people to buy your product because it is easily recognised. However, over the years, these trademarks or brands have slowly become used in different ways. So it is possible for something that we see or use or buy, or maybe something we have contact with in our everyday life, it is possible to suddenly use that particular brand, the actual name, in different ways. So we are looking at that today. I think it's an interesting subject, and I hope you do too. Hello to everyone. The garden is looking nice. As I mentioned a few moments ago, we have lovely high temperatures today all over the country, and apparently next week it might be in the 20s already. So we are approaching halfway through March, so we might actually be getting high temperatures. So I couldn't resist going out into the garden this morning and filming a few video clips on my mobile phone. Oh, look at that. So this is this morning, and you will see now many of the daffodils in the garden are now coming out. A beautiful sight at this time of year. The beautiful, easily recognisable yellow flowers of the daffodil. There are many different types of daffodil, of course. There are some that are yellow and white, some that are large, and some that are very small. You can see there that some of the daffodils have not come out yet. They are starting to come out. So there you can see some daffodil buds, and then eventually they will all open and look like this. Isn't that lovely? Not only that, I noticed also in the garden this morning there were some bumblebees as well buzzing around, and there you can see a very early bumblebee buzzing around on the heather. So not only are the daffodils coming out, but also the bumblebees are starting to buzz around as well. So that is what I saw this morning. I couldn't resist going outside to show you that, because it made me smile. I have to say, it did bring a big smile to my face, if I was honest with you. Hello to Mahender Rawat. Hello to you. Also, we have Claudia. Welcome back, Claudia. It is nice to see you here. I hope everything is all right. I know everything will not be perfect at the moment, but we are here to keep a smile on your face, hopefully. By the way, can I tell you something personal? Do you mind if I tell you something personal? I don't normally talk about my personal things, but I'm going to now. My back tooth, the tooth at the top, at the back of my mouth, is really annoying me. In fact, I had a very strange thought last night. I wanted to pull my back tooth out. I wanted it to come out. I was very tempted to take some tools, something to hold on to my tooth so I could pull it out. Is that a strange thing to want to do? But it does annoy me because it's a little bit loose and sometimes it's painful. Not all the time, but sometimes. So last night I had this crazy fantasy about pulling this tooth out, getting rid of it once and for all. Personally speaking, it's probably not a good idea. I'm sure Claudia will tell me that as well on the live chat, that it is not a good idea to pull your own teeth out. But sometimes it annoys me so much. And last night I nearly did it. I nearly pulled my tooth out. Hello also, who else is here today? I don't want to miss anyone out. Any of my lovely regulars. It is nice to see you all here today. The daffodils this year, can I just say, the garden is looking a little bit strange at the moment because the daffodils all look different. They look as if they don't actually want to come out this year. They seem a little weak. And I think it is because we've had a very mild, wet winter. In fact, here in the UK, we have had the wettest February ever. So last month was the wettest February we've ever had in recorded history. Can you believe it? But it is true. Claudia says maybe you have a cavity. It isn't a cavity, but I know what you mean. It is actually the tooth itself that it has become loose. And it happens, you see, where as you get older, sometimes it happens. Maybe one or two of your teeth will start to become loose. So I have one at the back of my mouth, and it really annoys me. Sometimes at night I'm in bed and I can feel it moving around as I'm lying down, and it's very annoying. So I tell you, last night I nearly pulled it out. It is probably not a good idea. I do not advise anyone to pull their own teeth out. So I haven't done it. I nearly did it, but I managed to stop myself in time because it may have been reckless of me to do it. Something that is reckless. If you do something reckless, it means you do something that might be dangerous or outrageous or something that might cause harm to yourself or someone around you. Something reckless. So last night I nearly did something reckless. I nearly pulled one of my own teeth out, but I didn't. I managed not to. But they are annoying. You need your teeth, but they are so annoying. I think of all of the parts of my body, the most annoying part of my body is my teeth. And I don't know why. I just find them so annoying. You have to clean them all the time. And then sometimes they become painful. And if you are like me, if you enjoy drinking coffee, sometimes the coffee will stain your teeth. And then you have to go to the dentist. You have to have them cleaned. And there is always something going on with your teeth. So I do find teeth quite annoying. Am I the only one that feels like that? Am I being weird today? Please let me know if I am being a little bit weird. Claudia says you must go to the dentist. Well, I did go to the dentist. And the dentist said that they could put something around the tooth so it wasn't loose. But they wanted me to pay £180 to do it. And I asked, will it stop the tooth from falling out? And she said, no. I thought, well, I don't think I'm going to pay £180, to be honest, to have some work done on a tooth that will eventually fall out anyway. So I'm not criticising dentists. Because here in the UK, it is very expensive to go to the dentist. Incredibly expensive. So that is all I'm saying for now. Hello everyone, it is nice to see so many people here on the live chat. Wednesday, a lot of people do forget. Wednesday, I am here with you every Wednesday from 2 p.m. UK time, so don't worry. Palmyra says, did you know that hundreds of emigres, I think do you mean immigrants or people who emigrated from East Europe had worked in fields of daffodils collecting its bulbs or flowers. And that work was very hard, just like slaves would work. And apparently it happened in Cornwall and other places. I did not know that. I have to be honest with you. I never think of flowers as something being connected to slavery or some form of forced labour. I have to be honest with you. I always think flowers are lovely and nice. It's strange, isn't it? How certain things have a certain image in your mind. But I don't doubt it. I'm sure it happened. It might be still happening, for all I know, in this crazy world of ours. Oh, by the way, can I just mention something very quickly? Today is World Elephant Day. If you like elephants, I love them. I think they are one of the most beautiful creatures on the planet. They are so lovely, so kind and gentle. Even though they are large, they are incredibly protective of their young. So if a person goes near a herd of elephants, if they have a young elephant with them, I believe a young elephant is called a calf, you will find that the other elephants will attack the danger. So you do have to be careful. And yes, it has happened in the past. Elephants have trampled or they've stampeded over human beings. It can happen. But quite often they do it if they feel as if they are in danger. They don't normally do it. It's a little bit like cows. Cows are the same. So lots of different types of cattle will do the same thing if they feel threatened, especially if they have young around them. They will attack, and elephants will do the same thing. Apparently this particular day was created in Thailand, where elephants are seen as wonderful creatures. However, they are also sometimes used in tourism. So they will give people large elephants will give people rides on these rather crude looking baskets which will sit on top of the elephant. And I think maybe there is a little bit of animal cruelty taking place. So there are people who enjoy the wildlife and seeing animals in their natural surrounding. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have things like this particular day, World Elephant Day. So maybe sometimes it's easy to forget about these beautiful creatures. And they are beautiful, they are lovely, even though they are large. And you know I like animals very much. You see here in my studio next to me, I have my lovely giraffe that Mr. Steve bought for me. I love birds as well. You can see over there are lots of birds. So I love animals very much. You can even see just behind me where is it? There it is, my cockerel, my little cockerel. So I have, well, in fact, it's quite a large one, but I don't like to boast, to be honest. Hello to the live chat. It's very nice to see you here on this special day because it is World Elephant Day. I don't think I've ever been close to an elephant, ever. There are many, many animals on the planet that I've never been near or close to. Elephants are one of them. I've never been near an elephant, and they are so gentle. They are so... I always think they look a little bit sad. Their eyes always look a little bit sad. It always looks as if they are unhappy, but in fact they are lovely, gentle creatures. Very nice to see so many people here. Oh, we have Turkey here. Hello, Turkey. Not the bird, but the country. Or should I say Turkiye? Turkiye is what people like to say now, or how they like to pronounce Turkey. Hello, Dilek. Hello, Dilek. Nice to see you here, watching from Turkey. A country that I've been to in the past. I've actually been there twice. I've even made a video lesson in Turkey. You can find it on my YouTube channel because I'm still here doing this. 17 years. Can you believe it? Am I crazy? Maybe. Maybe I am. Who knows? Fluffy cats. I think a lot of people do like cats. Before people started having dogs here in the UK, many people had cats as a pet. So they would keep one cat or maybe two or sometimes 3 or 4 cats as well. So growing up, I used to have a cat. We had a family cat and we had her for many, many years. She was a very old cat when she finally passed away, unfortunately. But yes, a lot of people still keep cats, although I think it's fair to say here in the UK, more and more people now keep dogs rather than cats. They have become very popular indeed. Palmyra says, I had my cat called Tiger. That is a really good name for a cat, I have to say. For over 18 years. 18 years. That's incredible. So you had a cat that lived for 18 years. That is a long time. That is one old cat. I think so. And I don't mean that in a rude way. Take a break now, a little break, and then we are back and we will be looking at brand names, trademarks, common things that you might buy or something you might own, things you might see around you. We are looking at the way in which those particular brands can be used as both nouns in general English and also verbs as well. Don't go away.
boy now.
We have a subject to talk about today. We are talking about it in a few seconds from now. English Addict is with you today, and I hope you are enjoying. If you like what you are seeing, then please give me a lovely like underneath this video, and then maybe someone will get to see it. I always like to think that I am the best kept secret. The best kept secret on YouTube is this. And people are always surprised when they find that I'm still here making lessons and doing live streams. I do get lots of messages from people who are surprised to find that I'm still here doing this after 17 years. It does seem strange, you are right. Hello to, Lewis. Lewis is talking about, I think Lewis is talking about different qualifications for certain jobs. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes there is a conversation taking place on the live chat and I have no idea what it is about because I'm doing this, you see. Sometimes I can't concentrate on everything. Here we go then. Let's have a look at today's topic. And I think this is an interesting topic to me anyway, and I hope it is to you also. We are looking at brand names. When we talk about brand names, we are talking about different types of companies that produce a certain thing, a certain item, and quite often they will have a brand or brand name. So that's what we're looking at today. And there are ways of using these particular brands or brand names as nouns in everyday English. So not only are these words naming a certain product, they've also become used generally. For example, and I will show you some examples right now. So first of all, these are brand names that have now become used as nouns in general English. So this one, maybe somewhere in your house you have some of these boxes. They are used for storing food, keeping food fresh. And this particular type is called Tupperware. However, over time, people have started using the word Tupperware for anything, any plastic box that is used for keeping food in. So it is possible to describe anything, any type of plastic food container as Tupperware, even if that particular product is not made by that company. So the original Tupperware, I think it was the late 1960s, early 1960s, when Tupperware started to be used. But now it is so popular, people use that particular name in general terms. So a plastic food container, any plastic container will be referred to as Tupperware, even if that particular thing wasn't made by the company. So it is possible for many things to become used in everyday English. Here's another one. This is another one. Have you ever been in a jacuzzi? Ooh. Some people have them in their gardens now. They go out into the garden and they sit in their hot tub. So the general term for this particular thing is hot tub. We call it a hot tub. A hot tub is something that you get into. Originally, they were used as a means of therapy for people who had rheumatism or arthritis. Maybe they had joint pain. So originally, the jacuzzi was made by a company and they called this product jacuzzi. But over time, many people started using the word jacuzzi for any hot tub. So if you have a hot tub, even if it isn't made by that company, you will still refer to it as a jacuzzi. Any type of hot tub might be called a jacuzzi. You get in to the jacuzzi. You get out of the jacuzzi. You have a wee-wee in the jacuzzi. Ugh. So it is strange how brand names can slowly be used as general nouns. So even though this product is called jacuzzi, even if it isn't that particular brand, people will still use the word. Here's another one. Oh, this is something that takes me back to my childhood, because we had one of these cameras when I was a kid, and they are slowly becoming popular again. So for many years, not many people used them, but they are becoming popular again. The word is Polaroid. Now, Polaroid is a brand name. It is a trade name. However, for any photograph that can be developed quickly, people will often say Polaroid. Show me your Polaroids. Some pictures, maybe pictures that you've had developed very quickly. And these cameras, I remember growing up in the 1970s and the early 1980s, and many people had this type of camera. You could take a picture and then the photograph would come out. And then you could wait for a few moments and magically the photograph would develop in front of you. It's amazing. Sometimes you could get black and white and other times you could get colour. So we used to have a black and white Polaroid camera. But over time, the word Polaroid has become a common noun for any photograph that can be developed quickly. We call it a Polaroid. Of course, Polaroid also is often used when we are talking about sunglasses, a certain type of protection that goes over the sunglasses. And I also believe it was created by the same company. Here's another one. If you have a cold, if you have a fever, or maybe you have hay fever, sometimes like me, you will need some of these. Kleenex. This is a brand of tissue paper. Boxes of tissues. The most common brand, or certainly the most well-known brand, is Kleenex. But over time, people have started to call any type of paper tissue, any, as Kleenex. Pass me a Kleenex. Can you pass me a Kleenex? My nose is running. I need a Kleenex so I can wipe my nose. So any box of tissue paper is often referred to as Kleenex, even if that particular product is not made by the company. Here's an interesting one. This is just for the ladies. So ladies, get ready. Oh, oh, oh. Speedo. If you go to the beach If you go to one of these very exotic beaches, you might find lots of people lying around in the sun, and quite often the men will wear a Speedo. It is a brand of swimwear. So there are many different types of swimwear made by Speedo. However, this particular type of swimwear, I'm very distracted by this, by the way. It's right next to me. It's been a while since I've been so close, you see. A brand of swimwear now worn by men is generally referred to as Speedo. You are wearing some Speedos. He walked along the beach wearing Speedos. A brand of swimwear is Speedo. I wore a Speedo on the beach. Can you imagine me wearing a Speedo? Ugh. Ugh. By the way, that is not me. If anyone is thinking that that is me, it isn't. I wish it was me, but it isn't. So any tight swimwear designed for men is generally referred to as a Speedo. Speedo. Oh, I see. Yes, we are getting some interesting comments coming up on the live chat. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. Here's another one. This is a brand of permanent marker. Something that is used as a pen, quite often with a very large point. Sharpie. So a lot of people will use this particular brand name even if they are not using that particular brand. They will talk about their pen as being a Sharpie, a certain type of marker pen, normally a type of pen that you will write with that is large and is very clear to see. I wrote my name with a Sharpie. Any type of marker pen will often be referred to as a Sharpie, even if you are not using that particular company's pen. It's very strange, very interesting. Here we go. Here's another one, another brand that can be used as a noun in English. Oh, do you ever hurt yourself? Do you ever injure yourself? Do you ever cut your skin accidentally and you have a little bit of blood coming out? Some people don't like that, by the way. Some people do not like the sight of blood. Some people will pass out if they see blood. So here is a way of preventing your friends from passing out or fainting at the sight of your bleeding arm. You can put a Band-Aid on it. Band-Aid. So this is a type of sticking plaster. So this particular brand of sticking plaster, it is put on wounds, cuts, any injury to keep it clean and to stop it from going septic or becoming infected. Band-Aid, a brand of sticking plaster. You will need a Band-Aid on that cut. You will need a Band-Aid on that wound to keep it clean. So generally speaking, any type of sticking plaster, we will often say Band-Aid instead, even though that particular word is a brand name. It is a name of a particular type of sticking plaster, protecting you from infection. Here's another one. If you are feeling hungry, or maybe you want to have something to drink whilst out and about, maybe you are going for a walk in the countryside. You might want a cup of tea, but there is nowhere around where you can buy one. So instead you will take one of these, a thermos. Thermos. So this particular word is a brand name. It is a name of a certain company that make bottles that you can seal. They are specially made. So if you put something hot inside the bottle, it will stay hot. And if you put something cold inside the bottle, it will stay cold. But there are many different companies that make this particular type of bottle. Many. Although most people will refer to it as a thermos. I will bring a thermos of tea in case we get cold. So you can use that generally as a noun. So any type of sealed drink bottle that will keep the contents hot or cold can be described as a thermos. Here's another one. So these are all brand names that can also be used as general nouns in English. Here's another one. Oh, there it is. A very common thing. I'm sure somewhere in your house you have some of this somewhere. But did you know that Velcro is actually a brand name? So the people who invented this particular thing called it Velcro, and they used it as a brand. So over time, lots of people have decided to call this Velcro, even if it's not made by the company that invented it. So Velcro is a brand of fixing fabric. It is a very interesting thing. Did you know that Velcro was invented by accident when someone noticed that certain types of flower head would attract things to it, and they would stick to this particular type of flower head. And they had a closer look and they realized that the flower head had lots of little tiny hooks, and the thing that was sticking to it was being caught by all of the tiny hooks. And that is what Velcro is. So you might say that Velcro is actually mimicking something that occurs in nature. I will fix it to the wall with some Velcro. So Velcro is very useful. You can use it in all sorts of situations. I thought I had one. I thought I had some Velcro on my hat, but I haven't. I don't have any Velcro here to show you, unfortunately. But you know what it is. It is a brand of fixing fabric, any type of hooking fabric. So that means that you put two things together. One half will have lots of tiny hooks, and the other half will be a very loose type of material, and they will attach themselves together. It's very clever, actually. I have to say, one of the most clever of all the inventions, and it comes straight from nature. Isn't that amazing? Here's another one, another brand name. So this, believe it or not, started out as a brand name. There was one company in the USA that made yo-yos, and that is the name that they gave this particular thing. It is a type of thing that you play with. Sometimes children play with it, and also adults as well will play with a yo-yo. So the original company, which by the way was called or is called Duncan. Isn't that strange? An American company, they make toys, lots of different types of toys, and one of their products is the yo-yo. So they actually invented the yo-yo, and the company is called Duncan. Isn't that strange? So these days, yo-yo is used generally for anything that looks like that. It is a type of toy for children, and of course many adults as well will also use yo-yos to play with and have fun. Here's another one. This is the final one of our nouns. In a few minutes we will look at verbs. So there are many brand names that have also become verbs as well. Finally, we have, as a noun, we have this thing which we happen to have right here in the house. So we actually have one of these. Crock pot. It is called a crock pot, but that is in fact the brand name. It is the brand that makes that particular product. In fact, they, as I understand it, they created the first crock pot. It is a type of slow cooker. So it is something that you can cook food in over a very long period of time. So you can leave it for many hours and it will slowly cook the food inside. It is a type of slow cooker. So the brand is Crock-Pot, but you will find that many people will refer to this particular item as a crock pot, even though that is the brand. I am making a nice stew in the crock pot. This is a type of slow cooker. And that, for now, is that. I will be with you in a few moments. Don't worry, I'm not going away. Don't panic. There will be some verbs connected to brand names, and there are quite a few. So don't go away. Still plenty more to look at as we look at the interesting world of brand names and how they are used in the English language. There is no snow outside. You will be pleased to hear that there is no snow anywhere, in fact, because summer is on the way, everyone. Isn't that nice? It's nice to know that summer is coming, or at least spring. I get excited at this time of year, especially when the temperature starts to rise and everything starts to look more pleasant outside. And of course, the biggest difference of all is the long days. We have more sunshine to enjoy. So there are many reasons to enjoy this time of year. As the days become longer, the temperatures start to increase slowly. Even though we are still having lots and lots of rain, which is a little bit annoying, if I was honest with you. The live chat is very busy. Hello, everyone on the live chat. Nice to see you here today. We are looking at brand names, names of products. We've looked at nouns, and now we are going to look at verbs. So these are brand names that are used as verbs, something you are doing, something you are going to do, a way in which you are doing something or carrying something out, maybe an activity of some sort. We can use certain brand names as verbs. Here is one that I know very well. This is one that I remember from my childhood. My mother would always clean the carpet in the living room, and she would use a hoover. Hoover. So Hoover is actually a brand name. It is a name of a company that make vacuum cleaners. You might hoover the carpet. So there you can see we are using it as a verb. You hoover the carpet. You use one of these to clean your carpet. So we often use the verb hoover to mean cleaning the carpet. You are using a vacuum cleaner to clean the carpet. You hoover the carpet. You hoover the floor. Quite often in British English, people will use the word hoover, even if the vacuum cleaner they have is not made by that particular company. So it is interesting how certain brand names have become verbs. Common nouns become verbs. And there is a very good example. In fact, I think that might be the most common one that we use in British English. Here's another one. If you've ever wanted to find out how old Mr. Duncan is, or where he lives, or how tall he is, that's me, by the way. You might go onto the internet and Google. You are looking, you are searching for information on the internet. You Google something. So a search engine brand. There are others, of course, even though most people don't really know what they are or where they are. A lot of people tell me these days, Mr. Duncan, you have to have DuckDuckGo. I don't know what they're talking about, to be honest. So if you are searching for something on the internet, if you are looking for something on the internet, you will Google that particular thing. Of course, Google is a big company, owns lots of different other things as well, including this. The thing that I'm on now is owned by Google, a search engine brand. You might Google it. You are looking for something. You are searching for a certain piece of information, some facts maybe. Google the information. You are searching for it. So the actual brand becomes a verb. You are Googling something. You are looking for information on the internet. Here's another one. Now, this is something that has been in the news this week here in England. Have you heard about it? There was a big scandal during the week involving this particular type of software with a member of the royal family who decided that she was going to play around with Photoshop. The only problem was the photo that she was editing was then sent to all of the national newspapers. And she didn't do a very good job of correcting or altering the photograph. Did you hear about that? It's very strange. So here we go. This is a brand that has become a verb. You Photoshop something. You alter something digitally. Maybe a photograph. Quite often a photograph will be altered in some way. Perhaps you have a photograph of me and you think, oh, Mr. Duncan looks a bit old there. He looks a bit tired. So you might make some changes to my face to make me look better. Although, to be honest with you, how can you improve on this? Really? How can you? You can't. You can't. Photoshop would never be able to make this better. I'm pretty sure of it. So Photoshop is often used as a verb. It is a noun, it is a trademark, but in this case, you are using it as a verb. A photo editing software is Photoshop. You might Photoshop your portrait. You want to look a little better on the picture, so you will make some changes. You Photoshop it. If you Photoshop something, it means you are altering a photograph. You are making changes. Maybe you are adding something. Maybe you are taking something away, like all of the lines on your face. You Photoshop something. I still can't believe that happened, by the way. I still find it very hard to believe that a member of the royal family would do some photoshopping, would alter a photograph, and then it was published in all of the newspapers. And lots of people realised that it was very badly photoshopped. It wasn't very well done. And to be honest with you, it became quite a scandal. It's one thing you should know about the British, and especially the English. We get very excited when there is ever a scandal. We love scandals, to be honest. If you like using your mobile phone or your smart device, you will probably be using this from time to time. So this is another word that is a brand name. However, it has also become a verb. You might WhatsApp someone. You WhatsApp a person. You send them a message on your mobile phone. Quite often people will use this particular messaging service. It is very popular these days because it is secure. It is safe to use. People cannot hack into it. WhatsApp. So it is a noun, it is a brand, but also it can be used as a verb. You will WhatsApp your friend. You will WhatsApp your relatives. You will send a message to them. You might WhatsApp a photograph. You send a photograph to your friends, maybe one person or many people. So the word WhatsApp is a brand name, but also it can be used as a verb in day-to-day life. Here's another one. If you have to repair something, a certain type of sticky tape, sellotape. Sellotape is a brand. However, over the years, it has also become the verb. You might sellotape something. You are using sticky tape to stick something together. You sellotape something. So we are using the noun, the brand name, as a verb. You might sellotape a gift. That means you are putting sellotape on the outside of a gift, normally whilst covering it with wrapping paper. So you want to keep the wrapping paper on the gift. So you will use sellotape. You might sellotape to a wall. So in that sense, we are sticking something to the wall. So you might sellotape a picture to the wall. You are using sellotape to stick that thing in a certain place, as it were. Here's another one. Super glue. Super glue is an amazing thing, but did you know it started out as a brand of glue called super glue? And the reason why they called it that is because it dries very quickly. And I remember many years ago when this particular product came out, lots of people were sticking their fingers together by accident. Some people would be repairing an object and then they would realise that they were stuck to the object. They couldn't let go because the glue had dried and they were now stuck to it. Super glue, a strong glue brand. However, these days we often say we will super glue the pieces. It means you will repair something that is broken with super glue. Super glue it together. We will super glue it together. It means we will stick that thing or repair that particular thing. Here's another one. If you are expecting a delivery or if you are sending a delivery, you might FedEx that particular thing. You FedEx something. It is a courier brand. By courier, I mean delivery, a delivery service. They take something from one place to another. They deliver something to an individual or a company. I will FedEx it to you later. So to FedEx something is to send something out for delivery. Please FedEx it to me. Send it to me. You send it and I will receive it. And the person who will bring it will be a nice man or a nice lady from FedEx. Or, of course, any other company as well. So it has become used more and more as a brand. Here's another one. I like this one because it's very popular all around the world. Uber. You might Uber somewhere. You might Uber to your friend's house. You might Uber into town. So we are using the word Uber, which is a taxi service brand, a brand that has lots and lots of different people working for them privately as taxi drivers or drivers. They will take you to the place you want to be or want to go to. So a taxi service brand is called Uber, but these days a lot of people use this as a verb as well. I will Uber to your house. Let's Uber to town. That means let's take a taxi. Let's go by cab. I will call for an Uber. Of course, other taxi services are available, don't forget. I'm not advertising here. Before anyone accuses me of doing it, I'm not. Here's another one. Now this is something that was around many years ago. It is still around and it caused a lot of controversy at the time because lots of pop singers, lots of musical artists were using this particular type of software. So this is the type of software that is used for altering the tone or pitch of something. So if you're a terrible singer, if your singing is awful, meet me round the corner after 10 o'clock and I'll be there waiting for you. Please don't let me down. So you could auto-tune that and make it sound fantastic. I could sound like Rihanna or Lady Gaga. So it is possible. It is possible. A pitch altering software. I will auto-tune your voice so you don't sound dreadful. Did you auto-tune that? Did you change the sound of that person's voice using computer software? So auto-tune can be used as both a noun, of course it is an actual brand name, or it can be used as a verb as well. You can auto-tune something. You can change the sound to make it more pleasant and not so horrible. Here's another one. We have two more, by the way, and then I'm going. Here's another one. If you make a mistake whilst writing or typing, I'm sure a lot of people don't use this anymore because most people use their computers or their word processors or their mobile phone. So you can't use this on your computer. If you make a mistake on your Word document, you don't have to use this. You can just delete it and correct it. So you don't have to put this on your computer monitor. Tipp-Ex, a correction fluid brand. It is a type of fluid. It is white and you will often put it on things that you want to correct. You want to cover the mistake. I will Tipp-Ex the mistakes. You are erasing them by painting over them with this product. So this is not just a brand, this is also used as a verb. Quite often we will use this particular word as a verb as well. I will Tipp-Ex the phone number. So that means you are going to hide the phone number. You are going to cover it. I will Tipp-Ex the phone number. I will cover it so you can't see it. Finally, one of my most favourite things in the world. I'm sure we've all had this in our hands at some point. Oh, I love this product. I do like it very much. Whenever you receive a package, maybe something fragile, quite often inside there will be that plastic bubble wrap. And you can have lots of fun with it because you can make it go pop. You can spend hours and hours popping the bubble wrap. So this is a brand of protective packaging. It is a type of protective packaging. So bubble wrap originally was the brand name. However, nowadays people will also use this as a verb. You will bubble wrap something. You will cover it in this particular product because it will protect your fragile objects. You might bubble wrap a vase to protect it if you are sending it. Maybe you are FedExing a vase to your friend. So you will have to bubble wrap that particular thing. I will bubble wrap it. I will bubble wrap it. I will put bubble wrap around it. So it is interesting to note how many of these particular brand names have slowly over time become part of the English language, generally used as verbs, covering all types of the same thing. And of course, if you are doing something, you can also use it as a verb as well. And that, as they say, is that. It's almost time to say goodbye. And I'm sure there are many others as well. Many others out there in the world. Nouns, brand names that have slowly over time become common nouns or verbs as well. Thank you very much for your company today. It's been nice having you here. I've enjoyed being here, as I always do. I always like being here, to be honest. So I'm happy to be with you, and I will be back with you on Sunday. Next Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. Twice a week you can have me here with you. Is that enough? Some people say, Mr. Duncan, we hope you can do more than twice a week. We want you to do 3 times or 4 times a week, or maybe 5, or even every day. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I will see you on Sunday. Mr. Steve also will be here as well on Sunday. So don't panic, don't worry. I will be here on Sunday. Steve will be here on Sunday. And we will do this all over again. And we will be here for 2 hours on Sunday. So I hope you can join us then. Thank you for your company. See you soon. This is Mr. Duncan, that's me by the way, saying thank you for watching. If you like this, then please give me a lovely like underneath. And maybe, if I'm lucky, YouTube might let other people see this. That would be ever so nice. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Stay happy, stay safe, keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. And I will see you on Sunday. And of course, ta-ta for now. See you on Sunday.